you here, Danladi. Yes, Fabrice from Zambia, Joy from Nigeria, Aziz from Nigeria. Brilliant. Well done, 93. You guys you're the best of the best. I hope you know that. Mulika from Nigeria, Mahafela from Lesotho. Yes. Bridget from Rivers, Nigeria. Patrick from Malawi. Oh, I think Malawi is winning, guys. What do you think? Eswatini, Iris from Madagascar, Chika from Benin. I think Nigeria is beginning to take the lead.
This one we
Chika
can't hear
from
you.
Malawi. Wonderful, wonderful. 97. Wow. Celine from Tanzania. Paida, Joy, Malawi. I can't keep up. I can't keep up, but welcome, welcome every single one of you. Welcome, most appreciated that you've taken the time out to be here at this point in time. You're doing something critical for your generation. 100. You guys did it, and you did it in 2 minutes. 100, 100. Let's not rest on our oars. Keep going, keep inviting people in. Clearly, you're more popular than I thought. All right, welcome everybody. Rose, Timmy Topware, welcome, welcome. It is amazing to have you here. It is amazing to have you here. You'll find out well why this is such an important webinar for you to attend in just a minute. But I am so pleased to welcome you. For those of us who came in after I introduced myself, my name is Deshala Shoso, and I will be your host this evening at this parenting coaching webinar. Wonderful. Okay. All right, so let's do something real quick. Let's do something real quick. We're at a parenting coaching webinar, and you must have heard, well, for apart from those of us who were encouraged to join in, for those of us who took the time to register and signed up and made themselves available to attend today, something must have prompted you. And if you're like me, you're probably concerned about the future, isn't it? Because we understand that the family is the production unit of society. We understand that if we're going to deliver a certain kind of society, then we need to ensure that the guardians of the responsibility of delivering individuals to society have certain equipping. All right. And that's why we've gathered here. Now, some of us are gathered here for ourselves, and we don't realize that I was in your shoes a while ago, where I attended the seminar like this, and I thought, oh, I'm going to help parents. I'm going to change the world. Little did I know that I had to start with myself. Okay. So you're going to be discovering some of those things as you go along. But I want you to think about the most serious, quote and unquote, parenting challenge that you see in the world today. Think about it. What is the issue that bothers you the most? That you think if parents could just sort this bit out, the world would be a better place. Perhaps like me, you've recently read about some child somewhere, um, probably stabbed or shot for reasons that don't even make sense. I mean, you analyze it, you look at it one way or another, that child should still be with us today. And at the end of the day, the question of who raised whoever attacked them comes on the table. Who raised the person who thinks it's all right? And I'm not trying to be political here, but the person who thinks it's all right to bomb another country without provocation or tweet something along the lines of, oh, I'm going to wipe out a whole civilization of people, right? You're probably asking, who raised that type of person? How did they come to that point of view, that belief system that makes them think it is okay to think that and then voice it? All right. So, for you, what is the most pressing parenting challenge that you see around you today? And if you can hold on to one and you think that ranks highest on the list, can you put that in the chat for me? I just want to see a few answers. What are those things that you've seen around you that you think If I can just help parents sort this out, if parents can just work this out, things will be better. That particular event will not have occurred. That particular situation will not have occurred. Perhaps the world will be a much better place. If you can lay hold on one of such problems or challenges, can you put it in the chat for me? Let's see what it is that we are dealing with, what you're seeing around you, the challenges that are around you where parenting is concerned. Can you put that in the chat for me, please? Lack of routines. Wow, I almost missed that. Lack of routine and basic manners, the way people see children. There's an echo. Oh, okay. Not sure what I can do about that. Mabel, does anybody else have an echo? I want to be sure you're hearing me clearly. If I need to put the headset on, I will. If anybody else has an echo, then
No,
perhaps it's a general problem. It's not local to Mabel's end. So if you do have an issue with my sound, please let me know. Okay, let me see what other problems you're seeing around you. The advancement, and this is important, the advancement of technology and access to information by our children, which has affected our parenting styles, where children are getting advice from different sources. This is a big one because it is diluting what parents are doing at home. And there's something we say about that. Perhaps PF will mention it as we go along, but this is a real concern. Oh, I keep going on and off. Okay. All right. Let me raise the volume first.
we can hear you.
And
I think
thank
you're
you for
loud enough.
pointing that out.
You're loud enough. Yeah.
I've raised my volume and now I'm going to put a headset on
Your sound is
because I
okay.
need you to hear every single thing I am saying this evening. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Social media. Parents are striving to instill discipline, but it's not working, is it? It's not working. If it was working, we would not be here. It is working in some cases, don't get me wrong. It's just how. Let me know when it is better, if it is better. The sound is fine. After I did all that, Rita, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I hope it's better. So it was fine before. I hope now it is better. Okay. Lying down. Okay. All right. Now this is an issue. Counter. This is an issue. Okay. All right. Peer pressure, social media addiction, not allowing children ask questions, lack of good relationships between parents and children. Wow. The issues are many. But guess what? There are answers. As many as the questions are, there are answers. And one of the things that we'll be doing today and going forward, right, is to help you learn those answers so that you can answer these questions as well, so that you can support parents with these queries, with these issues, authoritative parenting, poor parent to child relationships. I mean, where do we even begin? There are so many of them. There are so many of them. That's what the parenting coaching certification course will do for you. That is what it will do for you. Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. That was really, really insightful. Uh, uh, the goal of that exercise was to heighten our awareness to the problems, recognize that they do exist, and then prime us, prepare us to receive the solutions, to receive the answers. That's why we did that. Brilliant. Brilliant. Well done. All right. At this time, I'm going to take testimonials from two people who have attended the parenting coaching course. Okay. 2 people who have attended this course that we're going to talk about today, and they just want to share their experience with you. What it did for them, I can promise you that they've not been coached. It's a coaching course, but we didn't coach them to do this. This is basically their own experience, what they've been able to take away, what they've been able to lay hold on, okay, by attending this program. All right, so I'm going to start by inviting Fadili. Fadili, are you here? Fadili, please say something so that we know you're here.
Yes, I am here.
There you are, with the smile. All right, I'm not going to wash you too much today because you know I always like seeing your smile. But yeah, you have the floor. Please carry on.
A child's life is like a piece of paper. Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. Okay. A child's life is like a piece of paper on which every person leaves a mark. The question I have tonight is, which kind of mark do we have from our parents? And which kind of marks are we leaving on our children? My name is Marie Fadili, all the way from Kenya, Hakuna Matata. I'm a human resource by profession, but I serve as a baby dedication facilitator in charge in my church, where I help parents or train parents in understanding biblical principles and practicals in raising godly children. The goal is to break the childhood trauma circle. But again, how can you break the circle of what you haven't identified? Looking for answers and practical tools, I decided to join this course last year. And what I found, it was not just knowledge, it was a transformation. I could say a complete upgrade. The turning point for me was when we went through healing inner self and family framework. Oh my goodness. Those models, they gave me a manual I was missing. It changed the way I guide parents because currently I'm able to help parents identify their childhood trauma, work on them, develop or define the family goals and values, and also being able to develop a roadmap for their family. So the change was really remarkable because parents in my training nowadays work out exactly knowing what they stand for and how they can protect it. When you heal the parent, the child got an opportunity to grow up happier, loved, and more confident. Because we are not just changing one life, we are actually changing the trajectory of a generation. In my training, I used to have more questions on type or the approach of upbringing parents choose, because you'll find in one family, one parent is a dominant parent and another one is maybe negligent parent, or another one is permissive. And after joining this course, it was really a game changer. We no longer have those questions or maybe conflicts between the two partners. If we are able to define the values that we stand for, the goal for the family, we have the roadmap and we solve our conflicts. Irrespective of our approach that we may stand for, choose in upbringing or adopt, parents have a roadmap, they define their values and they are good to go. So since then, I realized that parents do not disappear after the training anymore. Most of them will book for a follow-up session, and I will receive more private consultation from there. Yeah, I can remember walking into this course just as a volunteer, you know. It was about passion. Ha. I tell you, when I walk out as a trained coach and soon to be certified with a system that actually delivers. Perhaps some of us be thinking or asking those questions right now. Can I afford this course right now? I ask myself the same question, but perhaps it is time to reframe the question. Can you afford not to? Yeah. Because the return is far bigger than the price that we pay for this course, actually. You walk away with tools, community, and something that I personally needed was the ability to create real and measurable results for the families that I serve in church. And that one, you can't compare it to the price. I got far more, like the value was more than the money I paid for, if I can be honest. So this is not just another course. For me, I feel like it's a lever that multiply what I was able to offer or what I could offer back then. And for those who are watching the budget, I benefited from the installment plan myself. And that actually saved me the pressure or financial pressure or stress that you will have. So it was easy for me to start with no financial pressure. And therefore, what I can just encourage someone, no excuses and no waiting for this course. There is a saying that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. And the second best time is right now, you know. So the families that are waiting for us, they do not have 20 years to spare again. Yeah. Plant today that tree, go outside there, break those circle of childhood traumas, create happier families. Let's join our hands together to create happier families, help children to grow in a loved environment, let them feel loved, let them grow up confident with more self-esteem, and build that generation. Let's build something that will last forever. Thank you.
And the church says amen. I think we should just go home. Yes. I think we should just wrap it up here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Fadili. It was evident that you spoke from the heart, and everything you said is absolutely, absolutely true. And I hope we're all paying close attention to Fadili's speech there. Fantastic. I'm so pleased to hear about the families you're supporting and the people who now have access to quality parenting coaching because you took a chance and you're delivering for the future. So well done, well done. Many more, many more. And just so you know, the consultation she referred to, she didn't do it for free. Fadili, right? It wasn't freemium, right? Your time was valued and your expertise was paid for. So yes, it's important to highlight that. Okay, very quickly, I'm going to ask Ayoluwa. Ayoluwa, please. Can the real Ayoluwa stand up? Please step forward. Fantastic. I love your frames. What? What? All right. Carry on, please. Ayoluwa, do you want to unmute your mic, please? If you're talking, we can't hear you yet. please unmute? We can't hear you yet. Your mic is muted. Not
Can
yet.
you hear
There
me
we
now?
go. Yes. Yes, we can.
All right. Once again, good evening, Coach Desola.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, PF. Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here once again. Coach Desola, I said the last time we were together, I said when I grow up, I want to be like
Is
you.
that what you were saying? You're there. You're beyond even.
All right. I remember few months ago, I was in this meeting like this, just like most of you here. I started this parenting of a thing. It's what I just love to do. You know, I've been trying to put things together. And one day my husband said, I love you to learn from someone, Praise Fowowe. And that was the first time I was hearing about PF. He said, I would love you to learn from him. I know you run courses about parenting. And that was how he got me to attend this webinar that night. And I remember it was Coach Desola that, handled the session. And eventually I registered for the course. And honestly, I would say that my expectations were exceeded. Yes, my expectations were exceeded. I've done quite a bit in parenting and all of that, but the tools that you walk away with in this acceleration program is just too much to be, overlooked. The confidence, the clarity that I left with after attending this course. So I felt fulfilled. Let me just put it that way, attending this course because I got what I actually wanted. And for my experience during the course, I've not even recovered from that experience. I mean, about three days ago, I was still thinking about the home fund PF gave us, the first class, our first class. He asked us to research about Indian families, Chinese families, and all of that. I was still thinking about it, and I was still thinking I still have work to do as regard that. All the modules, I would say, they are products, as in individually. Each, that's what I discovered after the class, after the course, that each of the modules, they are just, the course is just too loaded. It's just too loaded. From the module one, communication, discipline, healing the childhood trauma. My secret weapon, as I always say, is the diagnostics tool. The unbiased tool. Initially, it was tough, but when I was able to crack it, when I'm writing reports, I'm just smiling. I call it my secret weapon. That's what I actually call it. Yes, my secret weapon. And I think everyone in this space will definitely need that. So if you are just a beginner, or you have even started and you want to upgrade, I strongly recommend this course for you. Honestly, the transformation I have experienced after attending this course is not measurable. I mean, I've been able to author books. I have created courses on my own. I have communities that I'm, feeding now. You will get transformed. That's just the summary. You will leave the course with clarity, with confidence, with fulfillment. I'm not saying that you will get everything you need, but you will get everything you need to effect the change. That's one thing that I'm sure. You might not get the whole thing that you want, but everything you need to effect the change that you want, you will get it at IFED. So if you are still wondering, hey, will this course be good for me? I am here, I'm telling you, as an alumni who has passed through this course. And the funniest thing is even the sense of belonging. You know, the sense, there's a kind of sense of, when I was the first time I was reached out to facilitate, you know, this program, I was like, just like that, just like that, you know, when you have a community that you feel you are confident that even when I get stuck, I have somewhere to run to. That I have somewhere to. I think that's huge. That's huge. So if you are still contemplating whether to sign in for this course or not, I am here. I am telling you that you are in the right place. IFED, we feed you. IFED, we find you. And IFED, we feel you to the level you cannot imagine. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Please let us read your book, Ayoluwa. Don't share the love. Yeah, please.
All right.
Let's send us a copy. Let us read your book. Yeah, we will buy it. Not dash us, so we'll buy the book. Yeah, but well done, well done. It is so fulfilling to see, and for me, it gives me hope that the future is in a good place. You know, sometimes you hear certain things and you worry, and then I remember coaches, I remember Ayolu, I remember Fadili. I'm like, they are blazing the trail, they're shining the lights in different parts of the world, and for everybody here who is here to get this training, this certification, you are now going to go like the Artemis went into space, into that pitch darkness. You're going to go and you're going to sort people out. You're going to help families and help children. All right, I'm not going to waste our time further, because if you've noticed, I do like to talk. I talk for a living. I can do it for the next 3 days. But at this time, I'm going to welcome PF. Now, if you've heard us say PF, we're talking Prince Preschool, and he's not asked me to do any profile reading and all of that, but I can tell you that PF is a trailblazer in the family life space. He's the master strategist, master coach, master mentor, and his work is global in influence. He's dedicated the last 20 plus years of his life into research, into creating solutions, into building systems and structures that have raised people like me up and thousands of others. And I just want you to please make the most of this opportunity to hear from him, to interact with him, ask questions where necessary. And like Fadili and Ayolu have said, get on the moving train. All right, the train that will create the opportunity for you to support families in the way that you want to. All those problems we outlined earlier, answers exist. And once you have those answers, then you can go into the world. So without further ado, please welcome to the podium, the virtual podium, PF. Where are you, sir? PF, I can't hear you yet. Okay, PF is trying to whet our appetite. All right, so the anticipation can build. I wish I had a drum. I do drum roll, please. Yes, thank you. If you were in a physical hall now, you'd be clapping. So you might as well. I think the connection was the issue, but he'll be right with us. Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Thank you on PF's behalf. I know you weren't clapping for me. I just had a look at the chat and I've seen Oh dear. He'll be here shortly. He was just here actually. So it's definitely a connection issue. Yes, it is. I think if we keep welcoming PF, he would eventually come. What do you guys think? Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I hear you. It can be annoying. Welcome, PF.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, yay!
Okay.
I was worried I might have to take the class.
No,
But
don't worry.
I'm glad you're here.
I don't know. I mean, we're using machines. At the point of coming
Yeah.
on the machine, the network threw me off, and I don't know why that is happening. That's very strange. So I've had to restart my system. So it's almost ready. Okay,
Brilliant.
everybody. I will switch from my phone to my laptop once it boosts. But hey, I'm ready to start. How are you guys doing? Right? How are you guys doing? I hope you are excited. Right? If you are excited, can you shout yeah in the room? Yeah in the room. I am super, super, super fired up to take this session, and nothing is going to stop us today, okay? Don't worry. I'm here for you. Okay, I am super, super, really excited, and trust me, I don't take it for granted that you guys are here. Because within the time frame that I have, within the next few minutes, I'm going to share something with you that is totally going to transform your life, and you're never going to remain the same. Well, I'll give you a few of my ground rules, because at the end of the session, you would have learned some of the critical things you need to know about parenting coaching, which I believe is one of the most critical skills that is needed in our world today. A lot of people, they want to coach on parenting, but I hear a whole lot on social media these days that makes me wonder, do they even understand what is going on, right? Many people are frustrated because they don't know what to do. They don't know how to go about this thing. But you see, I have been in this field for maybe 25 years right now, and I know my way around this sector across various continents. As someone who has studied all kinds of parenting systems and parenting framework, I just know what works, and I'm not kidding you. I know exactly what works, right? And so I'm going to need you to be very, very patient. So the first thing I need you to do is to if there's anything disturbing you or distracting you in front of you, like your TV station, or maybe your TV is on, please kindly turn it off. If your TV is on, please turn it off, okay? Because I don't want anything distracting you. And also, I want you to put the name you want us to call you on there, on your Zoom link. So if you are a chief or a doctor or an engineer, whatever title you want me to use for you, please kindly ensure that you put that in as well, right? And then the final thing is recording in progress. Okay. Just hold on. I need to switch back now. Okay, so I think you can switch me. My laptop is back. Okay. Okay, looks like I am good now. Good. So the last thing I want you to do is please make sure you use your notes. I don't want anything to distract you. And don't try to write everything. It's streaming on YouTube. And so feel very free to go back and listen to it over and over and over again. Because what I'm going to be sharing with you is something that I believe everybody in Africa needs at this point in time. My name is Praise Fuwe. I told you I've been around for about 25 years of my life. I understand what it means and what you need to do in case you're building a family life practice. Now, I'm going to tell you a story. Maybe I was one of the first people that started this thing professionally in the country of Nigeria. And I remember that when I was starting out, a lot of people, it didn't make sense to them, right? Because what you were used to were religious leaders who were preaching or who were teaching. Those were the people that people knew, right? And it wasn't a problem, the fact that you had religious leaders who were teaching about parenting, but then there were things that were problematic. For example, if a child had a need, you know, you will need to sit down with a child, or you will need to sit down with a parent, you know, and then you need to spend like 2 hours, you know, trying to diagnose what is wrong, right? And I believe that we needed to change that as a matter of urgency. But much more than that, I actually, when I was starting out, 2003, I wanted to solve marital problem. But one of the things I first noticed in Africa was that a lot of the couples who were troubled didn't want to pay for their marital solution. They don't mind if their marriages end. What they were worried about was what happened to their children. So I learned firsthand that people will pay anything so that their children don't disgrace them, right? They don't mind if their own marriages scatter. So I quickly pivoted into parenting, and I started creating content for parents. And I will tell you, I made a lot of money, a whole lot of money. So the same people who were not willing to pay me to solve marital problem were willing to pay me to solve parenting problem. And so that was how I delved into creating content, designing solutions, because unknown to many people, the rules of parenting coaching has now changed. Many people are still stuck in the past. They are still stuck in what they used to know as parenting coaching. They still want to just go and be speaking. Let me tell you, the highest people that will pay you are people who want to design systems, who want to design frameworks. They are the ones that can pay you the kind of money that you truly need. And I'm going to be sharing some of those tips with you, because if you don't make the desired change, it's not because they don't want to pay you. It's because you are not communicating the kind of value you should communicate for them to pay you the kind of stuff that you want to earn, right? And so I want you to pay close attention to what I am sharing today. So let me ask you a question, right? How many of you have assisted a parent? Maybe you gave them an advice that worked for them, right? You gave them one advice about their child, about their parenting, and it worked. If you are that person, you have ever done it in your life, can you type hi, right? If that has ever happened to you, can you type I? Let me see the people who have been given. Type it in the chat box. I. Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. I'm seeing your eyes. Keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming. Okay, looks like a lot of you have done that. Good. Now, how many of you have been paid at least $1,000 for doing that? For solving that problem, you were paid $1,000. Can you type two? If you have been paid like $1,000 for solving that problem, if you have not been paid anything, maybe you have been doing it for free, you know, type three. Maybe it's 3, right? You've been doing it for free, just type 3, right? But if you've been paid like $1,000, type 2. Okay, looks like freebies, all my freebies people. Right? And I really appreciate your honesty. I mean, I do not take it for granted when people are honest in my class, right? So a lot of you have been doing it for free, right? Now, my final question before I teach you what I want to teach you is that, do you want to continue to do it for free, or you want to get paid, right? Do you want to continue to do it for free, or you want to get paid to do it? Okay, so type paid. If you want to get paid to do it, Can you type paid, 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 paid? Let me see the people that want to make money. Okay, good, 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 good. Get paid. Fantastic. I used to be like you. I also used to be in that state where nobody paid me when I started out, right? Because I was from a church background. My dad was an Anglican priest. We used to say, freely have you received, freely have you given. The only problem was that my certification was not free. But I convinced myself that people will not pay me for it. Let me just help them. As a matter of fact, when parents walked away from me, I felt bad. I punished myself until I realized that I was pretending not to know that I was not financially free. You see, when you begin to solve problems that you should get paid for, and they are not paying you for it, and you are giving it for free, you are like a man that is trying to fetch water. I know many of us are from various African countries. You know those kind of village well where you can draw water, right? Now you're like that man trying to draw water from a well. The only problem is that the bucket you are using to bring in the water is bigger than you. What will happen after a while is that the well will fetch you inside. You will find yourself inside that well. That's the way I was behaving until I started going through classes and mentoring programs. And then, in fact, I remember that I could get like 12 speaking engagements every month in 2004, 2005. And at the end of the entire month, after going through the breadth and the nook and cranny of Lagos, when I go back to my house to take how much I have made for that month, maximum of 120,000 naira, maximum. Because everywhere I went, some churches will say, let us bless our brother. Some speaking engagement will say, we just give you a token. So at the end of the day, 120. And I sat beside my mentor, who I know was earning like millions of naira and millions of dollars way back. And then I sat with him and he said to me, it's because you have not structured your practice and the framework you are using was native intelligence. And he said to me, Praise, I'm going to share something with you. If you follow it, it will separate the people that need you from those that want you. It will reduce the people inviting you, but you will make more money. But the first thing he wanted to ascertain was the framework I was using. So I shared the framework I was using. And the first thing he said to me is that this framework is not going to work. He said you need to embrace a framework that ensures that you can professionally diagnose their problem without even sitting with them. And so I went back, worked on that, brought it back to him, tested my model across the globe, studied the Chinese parenting, studied the Indian parenting, studied the Jewish parenting, studied the Emirati parenting, just studied all kinds of things. And then the moment I did that, he showed me a document. And he said, if you set up your practice this way, whenever they invite you, send them this document. So I was trembling because I hated for people to walk away from me and it looked like God couldn't use me to bless them because they couldn't pay. But that was what I did. I restructured, I re-strategized, and that month, right, I started sending that document. Guess what happened? My speaking engagement that used to be 12 reduced to 2, right? But those 2, because I had put in there what I wanted to be paid, those 2 paid 450,000 each, right? So I did 2 speaking engagements. I made 900,000 compared to 12 in a month and then 120,000. So I saw my practice practically change. So I want to welcome you to this class because if you don't understand my story, you will think something is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. The problem is that you are not rightly positioned or you are not using the right model. And I'm going to share with you what you need to do differently that will set you apart because the game has changed across the globe and you need to know the new rules of parenting coaching. The first thing I'm going to say to you is that the greatest battle in the world today is the battle of parenting. As a matter of fact, every leader you complain about in Africa, I don't know how many of you from various African countries love your leaders, right? I know many African countries don't like their presidents, except for a few. I don't know how many of you love your leaders, but your leader is not the problem. The parenting that raised your leader was the problem. There was something that happened to your leader that turned him to the adult and the leader he had become that was childhood trauma. Nigeria once had a leader, is dead now, late President Muhammad Buhari. When the nation is crying, the guy is smiling. When the nation is burning, he's going on a trip. When everybody is agitating, the guy is using toothpick to pick his tooth. Almost like he's not aware of any problem. And people were very upset about him. And I said to them, have you tried to study his childhood to understand how he was raised? If you try to understand him, you will see the trauma, because you cannot give wholesomeness to people when there's trauma in you. Unfortunately, trauma can be generational. A lot of parents pass trauma to their child. We call it secondary trauma. In fact, a baby in the womb can feel the trauma of the mother if the mother is in an abusive relationship. And that baby can come out of the womb traumatized as a result of the sound he started hearing from the womb. This has now been scientifically proven. So, just in the last 1 week, the whole world was talking about Artemis 2, which was a group of people who went to circle the moon, right? And it was a global event. Yesterday in Lagos, Nigeria, one of my mentees was having an interaction with teenagers, right? And at that meeting, she was asking about the Artemis 2. Guess what? Nobody in the room knew anything about it, right? And so she said to me that she was upset, but then she didn't show it. So you know what she tried to do? She now introduced another subject. So she talked about Blessing CEO, talked about Javis and this other guy, Pella, and then talked about Qatar FA and the zoo. And the room erupted. Everybody started having what to say. Just started flying in the room. And she said to me that, PF, I left that room crying. And I said, why did you cry? He said, because I realized that we have raised a generation in Africa who believes in entertainment more than science. I said, no, you are not big the problem. The real problem was that parenting has failed. Because if parenting had not failed, there were things that we normalized. My father made me read newspapers. My father ensured, my mother ensured that you studied how to read, you studied how to write. There was something that was called current affairs when we were growing up, right? But then you could see an entire group of teenagers who knew nothing about astronauts, knew nothing about mission to the moon or mission to Mars. They knew nothing about, but they knew about Javis and Pella. Now, the question is, how do those young people compete intellectually, globally? Because, in fact, there's one African country, I don't know which one, there is a content on social media where they are meant to, somebody puts paint on his hand and then he puts it on the breast. But the guy is perpetually interested in putting it on the breast of the girls, and all these people were teenagers. The question I was asking is, where are their parents? Is it that parenting have become, passive? But the real problem is that parenting has really failed. And so if there is a skill that is needed in our world today, is the skill of parenting coaches. Because the ultimate parent is a skilled system owner that is able to spot the identity of the arrow in the quiver and intentionally shoot and groom in the direction of a predetermined target in a way that the arrow consistently solves the problem it was designed to solve in service to God and humanity. We are gradually having parents who were not parented. So you have parents who needed to be parented, because parenting is a threefold assignment. You need to discover your child, you need to develop your child, and you need to deploy a child. So a parenting coach must assist families design systems that can discover a child, that can develop a child, and that can deploy a child. This is not motivational speaking. This is not, these are the 7 rules, these are the 10 rules, these are the things. There is so much madness on social media from people who claim they're teaching parenting that all they just do is to go on ChatGPT and pick up something, and then parents are confused. It's not that complicated. However, parenting has got to be strategic. And so follow me, because there are 4 critical issues that modern day parents are faced with that if they don't address, it will create a chaotic world. And the only group of people who can help them address and navigate are the parenting coaches. Number 1 issue is digital distraction and screen time. Now, how many of you have noticed that we are raising a generation of Gen Z and Gen Alpha who are distracted? It's almost as if they are addicted to their gadget. If you have observed that, can you type I? Because I mean, I've seen that they can be on their gadget, on their phone, on their iPad for 24 hours. They don't even respond to their lectures. Their parents are overworking themselves. How do you, as a parent, you provide food, you provide shelter, you are still going to wash plates, and then your child is sitting down and all they are doing is playing games? Right. So digital distraction and screen time, and many of these young people are getting addicted to this. Now, the impact of this, unknown to many parents, is that excessive screen time has been linked to issues such as reduced attention span, sleep disturbances, and social isolation among children and teenagers. So it's already showing up. Many of them cannot connect socially. If you go to a party, everyone is on their phone. They can't even introduce themselves. They can't interact. Their speech formation is not developed. Their communication skill is not developed. Their social interaction skill is not developed. So you are in a situation where you don't even know what can come out of their mouth. So that's the number one crisis we are faced with. Number two crisis that we are faced with is mental health, awareness. Now, with what is going on around, there's a growing awareness of mental health issues affecting children and teenagers, including anxiety, depression, and stress. When I was growing up, it was almost impossible to see my age mate who was dealing with depression. But that has now been normalized. You see that in schools. You see that in a lot of teenagers who don't want to do anything, and parents are confused. They don't know what to do. Number three challenge is work-life integration. This is a crisis. Parents are overwhelmed because they don't understand the system intelligence required to parent in the modern age. I live in America and Canada and partly Nigeria. I see parents here combine 3 jobs. So they don't have the time and they are stressed out. So the media is raising their children. And I know it's like that in many African countries right now because we see a lot of the things that the teenagers are doing. Parents want to make more money. I mean, if you live in Lagos, Nigeria, if you live in Lusaka, Zambia, or if you live in Yamoussoukro in Ivory Coast, or if you live in Yaoundé in Cameroon, wherever you live, you can literally say that parents are struggling for work-life. They call it work-life balance, but that's another fraud that I don't want to talk about because it's work-life integration, right? So parents are overwhelmed. They cannot design system, and that is where you come in because your job is to help them design systems that ensure that their children are well taken care of while they are also at work. Now, number 4 crisis that we are sitting with is scripting a child for success. Let me tell you, only one group of people can master how to script a child for success, and those people are parenting coaches. Parents are struggling with the best template to help their children succeed at various developmental stages, especially in education and life success. So over a period of time, we've had the permissive parent, we've had all kinds of laissez-faire parenting, and now they talk about gentle parenting. All those things are just confusion. Parenting is very simple. It's the word bring forth. The outcome of parenting is who your child becomes. So parenting is an 18-year curriculum. What they have from age 19 is your report card. Your job is to help parents design a system that can produce the desired outcome at 18. Basically, it's as simple as that. Now, many parents don't understand how to script their children for success, how to build the system, create the environment, heal from trauma, but that is your job. Now, if you don't know how to do this, nobody pays you anything. See, part of the job I do right now is to work with C-suite executive and the HNIs to create what they call Family Systems Office. Family Systems Office is a family design that is transgenerational, that helps you raise a generation, raise 7 generations. 7 generations is about 270 years. That's what it is, right? And so they are looking for a 270-year plan. None of us is going to be alive, but nevertheless, they are raising it, creating it, so that they can hand it over to their children's children. That's why these guys are ahead of us. So the world is looking for people who understand how to create that script. Only parenting coaches are skilled enough to do that. But if you don't understand this skill, let me tell you, what you get to earn at this level can be as high as $1 million per annum if you get a good client, right? Sometimes it's as low as $140,000, $250,000 a year, right? And then you're put on retainership and they fly you across the places. Now, Everybody wants to know how to script their children for success. And I'm going to show you an example later. Right. And so that's number 4. Now, what we say is that it takes a village to raise a child. That's African proverb. And what now, because the villages have disappeared, so the real village now are the parenting coaches. You at the village, every family needs to raise their children better, to parent their children better. Now, if you are listening to me, you're listening to me at this point, and then you remember you have a friend, you have a coach, you have somebody speaking, motivational speaker, pastor, imam, anybody who needs to be at this meeting, please put your link and send it to them and tell them that you want to give them a gift. Everybody on this call, I'm going to give you one of my books for free at the end of this session. So if you have people that you love, please send a link to like 3, 4, 5 of them. I need us to triple this room right now because I'm sharing a message that Africa needs. Right. So once you have done that, just let me know done in the chat box before I continue my story. Now, we need to understand that to rescue Africa, it's in our hand. But you see, you can't rescue Africa. All the government things that people are talking about, you cannot change anything except you have mastered how to create systems. We are blaming government. Government is as confused as you are. But if we properly raise children from the family by helping families create the right system, the right template, then we would have created the future. Right. So I can see that the room is increasing. Invite your friends. When you're done, just type done. Right. Okay. And I need everyone to do that. So if you look at all these people, these were people that created problems for the world. From Joseph Stalin to Adolf Hitler to Idi Amin Dada to Osama bin Laden to Kim Jong-un. Everybody talks about the crisis. The question I'm asking is, what parenting system engineered them? What system traumatized them? And I've studied almost all of them, and I knew the childhood trauma many of them had to deal with. Right? And so, thank you very much for those who have sent the link. I'm clapping for you. I can see you're typing done. Now, every time you see what is an anomaly, you need to be asking, would they have turned differently if their parent had access to you? And that's the question I wanted to answer. I say yes and no. If you were able, at the point these children were born, when they were children, if their parents had access to you to work with them, and you help them create a system, do you think they would have turned out differently? Say yes or no. Let me see. Do you think they would have turned out differently if they worked with you, if they had access to you? Okay, great. Thank you very much. Yes. Maybe we wouldn't have had Hitler who tried to exterminate the Jews. Maybe we would have had Stalin who killed 30 million people as Soviet Union leader. Maybe we wouldn't have had Idi Amin Dada who was portrayed to be hitting people. Right? Maybe we wouldn't have had Osama bin Laden. Maybe the Twin Tower would not have been bombed. Right? And so we need to understand that there is a lot that we need to do. Thank you very much for those of you sharing the link. There is so much ahead of us and so much at stake, but we all need to be trained. You look at these people you are asking, what parenting system engineered Winston Churchill? What parenting system? In fact, Steve Jobs is interesting. Steve Jobs was adopted by another parent who exposed him to computer and tech. If Steve Jobs has remained with his parent, he would have been a farmer. Imagine the brain. Imagine the lack of the right environment. If the right environment is not created to promote the best interest of a child's potential will be stifled. Imagine if this guy never saw the computer in the house he was adopted to. It would have turned out differently. Mark Zuckerberg, the same thing. His father bought him, a laptop when he was not even involved, made him to be attending, coding classes, which was above his age. It's about scripting. The same thing Bill Gates, Nelson Mandela. What parenting system engineered these people? And how will you feel if their success was attributed to your parenting coach? Imagine the president of the future standing on the podium and mentioning your name. But for you, their life would have turned out differently. You know what that means. And so you need to understand that life has changed totally. So the reality check this evening is this. How skilled are you in handling the various problems for parents as a parenting coach? Which was the same problem my mentor asked me. Praise, what template do you have? What framework do you have? Because if you don't have a clear template, a clear framework that has a fail-proof testimony of delivering, then you are just experimenting. And you know, the worst thing that can happen is when you experiment with people's life, because the specimen never survived the experiment, which was what many parents did with the firstborn children in Africa. They experimented with you. So if you're a firstborn girl here, you will notice that part of the challenges you have is that you are always trying to take responsibilities for the irresponsible behavior of the lovers or the husband or the spouses in your life. Why? Because from firstborn, you were made associate parent. So your parents made you take responsibilities for your siblings, including their misbehavior. They beat you for their misbehavior. So when you were looking for a lover, you were looking for someone to help, not someone to nurture you. You were looking for someone to groom, someone to take care of, someone to send to school, someone to send business. In fact, you start dating guys that you are buying boxers for, right? That has been the reality of many firstborns, simply because they were not scripted to be independent and be in love with themselves. Their own, fulfillment was tied to how well they take care of other people. Right. And so if that resonates with you, what is happening there is that you are dealing with a childhood trauma, because that's the reality. So we need to understand that it's high time we change that. The firstborn child is not associate parent. It's just a child that is fortunate to have been born first. It's not anybody's role model. We need to allow them grow naturally. And so I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Let's say a family comes to meet you right now, and they say to you that we've heard about you. We want you to design a parenting program that can produce another Elon Musk. And they ask you, how much do you charge? How much will you call? Let me see how much you will charge them on the chat box. How much will you ask them to pay you? Let's see. How much? What is 100? Ismail, $100? You charge $100. $5,000, okay? $100 USD to create. Okay, 50,000. I love these people, right? 1,500 rands. Okay, $10,000. Okay, 100. That's $10 million. Yeah, I love. You see, I gave you a blank check. Look at what you are still charging. They want you to. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. They want you to give them a framework that can raise the next, richest man in the world. And some of you are charging $100, right? Yes, $1 million. I love you. $200,000. Yeah. Okay. So let's stop that. Let's go to the second one. Second question. Let's say a family comes to meet you, like they usually come to see me, and they want you to help them preserve their wealth across various generations. I mean, this is a well-to-do family, but they have seen that rich families lose their wealth by the 2nd or 3rd generation. But they want to preserve the wealth. I love Oshi said the current value of Elon Musk. I love you guys, right? Now, they want you to help them create a system that helps them preserve wealth for the 7th generation. How much? And they're asking you, how much will you charge? How much will you charge them? Let me see. Okay, $10,000. Jackass Chira, $10 million. I love this. You guys like, Lima, 20 million. I like that. You will buy the whole of Zambia. 20 million. I'm stretching your mind, guys. 50 million, Ismail, right? 1 million. I'm being baller 30% of the. Oh, Bimbo, I'm clapping for you. I'm clapping because you have taken it to another level. You are not charging a one-time fee. You have inserted yourself into the transaction, right? And that is how consultants charge. The least you can earn is one-off. The best you can do is when the payment is perpetual. Okay, Tolu, I'm gonna say $100 million, right? Tara, 2 million, 10 million. Fantastic. There will be an agreement for the profit. Okay, let's go to number 3. What is the highest amount you have ever been paid to solve parenting problem? what is the highest amount you have ever been paid to solve parenting problem? This one, you need to be truthful, right? Okay, 65,000, nothing, no, nil. 50,000 naira. I've never earned from it. Nil, zero, nil, none. Why? Why? So you can see your potential. 300,000 with grit. Nobody can pay me 300,000 and I'll collect it. You can't even pay me a million naira and I'll collect it. It's not possible. I've not taken any parenting job, in the last maybe 3 years that is in those kind of ranges. Okay, 100,000. It's not bad, but can you see your potential? Why they are paying you what they are paying you or they are not paying you is because they are not sure you can deliver. And what you are communicating as your value proposition is weak. It's weak. So you are telling them your child will turn out better. By the time you begin to say, I want to help you script a child that will be exactly like Elon Musk, it changes the dynamics. Because they want the richest man in the world. And if you know the framework you are using, you can actually help them script that. Right? But the time somebody said they paid you a plate of food, please move away from there. You are not hungry. There was a time in Lagos, we go to speak, they'll be giving us throw pillows. My house was packed with throw pillows with my faces, but the only problem is that I can't take those throw pillows to market to buy anything. I can't use them to pay school fees. Right? So many of you need to become professionals. So I need to do some crazy work with you and literally make you into business people. Right? Because the whole world needs you. Your skill is the most important skill the whole world needs. But you need to move from where you are. I showed you your potential. You have the power to earn $1 million, but then you are earning nothing. Right? And so the big question is, what if everything you knew about parenting coaching no longer works? What if it no longer works? What if you are still living with the old rule when the new rule has changed? And that is why, you see, all of you in this room, over 1,600 people registered for this class, but the 173 people in the room, and all the 173 people, I have told my team, this is a book that people buy. I'm putting a book out. I'm going to get you guys a link to download it for free, all of you. And you can't afford to give it to people who didn't come for this class, right? And so there are new rules for parenting coaching that you need to be aware of, that if you master them, it will change the way you run your life and the way you run your practice. Nobody's paying you anything because they don't see you offering any value, even though you're offering a lot of value, but your value is not packaged or the framework you're using is not working. The first rule is that parents no longer raise children. They are engineering humans. You need to understand this one. Parents no longer raise children. So if you see when we have people raise children, nobody's interested. They want to engineer human beings with a predetermined outcome. Because every child is not just alive, they are a system waiting to be engineered. When a child comes into this world, the tabula rasa, they say is plain, even though I don't agree with that, right? But that child can become anything. The child can become the child can become a genius and a dollar depending on the hand you put a child. We call that handlers. Have a child and let the child be born in Japan, and let the child be born in Congo, Brazzaville, or let the child be born in Nigeria. Let them grow in those three environments, they will end up differently. Give birth to a child in Saudi Arabia, to the king of Saudi Arabia, his destiny is sealed. He will be a Muslim. Give birth to him in Israel, his destiny is sealed, most likely be a Jew. Give birth to him in Nigeria, anything can happen. Or in Africa, right? Maybe he may not even come out of the womb because there may not be electricity. Anything can just happen, right? And so people want to engineer, right? They want to engineer a human being. And so the old model of parenting is, I have a pregnant. My tummy is protruding. So the two photo ops, we feed the child, we send the child to school, and we discipline the child. That is old model. New model parenting is designing identity. You need to help parents design. So I'm a consultant. I'm a strategist. I am not just doing parenting coaching. When I sit with you, I run assessment. The assessment, by the way, the assessment will take you maybe 30 to 40 minutes to analyze, but our app will come out within the next 1 month, and every diagnosis must not be less than 1 minute. From the time they complete the test, the app will make sure that you have their test result in 1 minute, right? And so we are taking this to the next level, designing identity. And also, by the time they do the assessment, they can hire you on the platform. So you are designing identity, you are designing behavior and outcomes. You are designing the internal system, including beliefs, identity, and emotional pattern. That's the difference. So by the time I can walk to a school and tell them I want to design an outcome for all their children, and they pay me, right? I went to work in Calgary, and I walked into a room. It's called, some facility for helping at-risk men. And I looked at them, and from what I knew about parenting coaching, the framework we use, I walked up to them and I told them, I can design a system for you that will produce a predictable outcome here. They were blown away, right? They said, oh, can you pitch something to us? Within 24 hours, I was out with a framework, and I gave it to them, and they say, you know what, this has to be a nationwide affair, right? Let us pilot it. We gather the data, we present it to the Canadian government, right? And show them how this works differently from everything they have. Say, if we get to that level, then it will be something that will be adopted nationwide, right? I walk into a room, left there, came to Toronto. I saw at-risk children. I'm designing a new solution. I sent it to the chief of police, him here, right? Because I know how. We are not going to meet them and say, gather the parent. No. We create intervention. We design intervention. And when you design intervention, nobody will be telling you, come and earn $1,000. No. Where a conversation will be starting from $200,000. Right? And so the old model, you need to shift from, you want to gather small people. No. You've got to develop the attitude that say, yes, I can. Right? Number two, and so in number one, so now we're talking about Artemis 2. There's only one lady called Christina Koch. Now, she's a NASA astronaut. She was on that, she just arrived back from space. Now, she made history as the woman that has traveled farthest from the Earth. But you know what? I was doing a research on her just before I came on, and I realized that her parents ensured she attended space camp every summer from ages 13 to 17. So you can see how this one was scripted to produce the outcome she had produced. Question is, what are parents making their children to attend? Right? And so these are the way. So a child wants to be a scientist, but you are making him attend choir practice. He will end up becoming a musician. Not because the potential of science to produce innovation is not in him, but because that's what you exposed him to. Right? So you need to understand this. And that takes me to number 2 rule, which is the rule that says behavior is not the problem. Systems are. And if you can't diagnose system, you can't be highly paid. Let me tell you, if you come to me with a parenting problem, I have a mother who said, oh, my child is this. I said, madam, I can't talk to you. I need to diagnose your child. So I had a session with the child, took him through assessment. And in that time, I saw the result. But you see, that session, which we call clarity session, less than 30-minute session, right? Because I knew her, I charged her $300 for it, right? And so she had paid me $300, and then in 30 minutes, I was done diagnosing, and I knew what was wrong. Now, that is not the amount to solve the problem. It's just diagnosis. Now, to solve the problem, I now wrote a blueprint of a 13-week coaching session, right? And I put a price tag of $8,000. Now, when I put $8,000, it's not because I think I'm the one to do it. No, most likely I'm going to hire some of my coaches to get it done, right? And then she came begging, I don't have that. Okay, what do you have? Can I pay, please? Can you give me 50% off? I can afford to give her 50% because I have another coach that can earn those kind of amount that would be praying for me, which is like almost 5 million naira if you convert it to Nigeria, right? Behavior is not the problem, systems are. That's why you cannot be sitting down and be saying, oh yeah, tell me what's the problem. You tell me what's the problem. You tell me what's the problem. If you are doing that, nobody will respect you, right? You don't correct behavior, you correct the system producing it, because your diagnosis must show the system. And that's why old model is, my child is stubborn. But you see, the new model is, we call it, stubbornness is emotional regulation failure. So stubbornness is a symptom. The system powering it is emotional regulation system. So if we fix the child's emotional regulation system, we'll deal with stubbornness. We think of root cause, right? My child is rebellious. Oh, my teenager is rebellious. The real problem is broken authority system. The authority system is broken because you are pretending that that teenager became rebellious when he became a teenager. No. What you see in the teenage years is a function of what you have done in the toddling years or in the transition years. So it's a broken authority system. So instead of blaming the child alone, you want to create a reframe and create a system that can restore authority, right? Which will start with rapport, parenting, going back to the child to get a report, and then, you getting into the child's emotions again and apologizing where necessary and rebuilding trust. If you design this output, that's the outcome. But if what you want to go and do, you call the child, you too, be respectful to your parent. The child does not understand why. Maybe he has caught the father with another woman. You don't even know where the thing is coming from. You are just sitting down, I'm a parenting coach. The Bible says, honor your father and your mother so that your days. How do you honor a father that beats his mother? Right? So it's a broken authority system. Now, if you have not moved from just mere doing advisory into this, you won't understand how this works. So the new model is behavior is output, system is the cause. So we normalize root cause analysis. If you can get to the root, which is why we always say that professionals don't ask the question, what is the child doing? What is the parent? We don't ask that question. We ask why and we ask how. Why shows us the root cause. How shows us the pattern. If you are still with me, can you type yes? If you are getting value here, can you type yes? Let me be sure that you guys are still in this meeting. All right? Okay. You guys, should I stop now? Shall I stop now? I've told two with you. Or do you want me to continue? Okay, guys, I'm enjoying this. Well done. So, okay. So let me go to the third thing. Third rule. Now, there are about 10 rules. I'll just share about 4 with you. The future of parenting is cultural warfare, not individual warfare. I laugh when I see the number of prayer meetings in Africa. Let me tell you a story. Many years ago, we saw prayer meetings in Lagos. Every prayer meeting had to do with destiny recovery for the firstborn child. So I gathered my team. And I said, let's go and troubleshoot what's going on. Why are they recovering the destiny for firstborn? They said they noticed that firstborn children usually struggle. Okay, that's valid. But what is the cause? Oh, they say it's the demon that doesn't want the child. No, I said no. So we went to those prayer meetings and we ran a simple assessment. I can't forget. The first question in the assessment was, how many of you attended the seminar, took a workshop or training on parenting before you started raising your firstborn child? Less than 1%. So if you don't have the knowledge to raise a child and they put a child in your hand, what do? You experiment. The child you are using for experimenting is called the specimen. If you are a scientist here, you know that when you dissect a specimen, oftentimes the specimen never survives. So I put it to all of them that, is there a possibility that your parents are the real demon that is stealing the destiny of the child and not the child himself? And everybody went quiet. Because Africa, we throw prayer at everything. Every government is bad. Pray. Instead of marching, we will not march. Instead of voting, we will not vote. Pray against bad government. You voted the devil, but you want the devil to now do the God's work. It's not possible, right? Child is not even. You pray for the child. No, you need to understand. I am not saying don't pray. But all this, let us anoint the child dead. It's not going to turn the child right. It is system. If you take a child and put the child, in fact, let me ask you, because the question I ask everybody, if you put a child in the hand of terrorists, let's say you take a child to ISIS or Boko Haram and say, I hand over my child to you for the next 10 years, who will the child become after 10 years? Can you put your answers on the chat box? Who will the child become after 10 years? You took a child. Wumi said terrorist, right? Where everybody is saying the same thing. A terrorist, a Boko, you are so sure, right? Why are we so sure that the child becomes terrorist? Because terrorists have a training system that will produce that outcome. Nobody is saying the child become a pastor. Nobody is saying the child become an imam. Nobody is saying the child. Everybody says terrorist. Now, if we can predict who the child will become in 10 years by giving them to Boko Haram, who are these children becoming after 10 years in church? Who are they becoming after 10 years in your house? So you can predict what they will become in Boko Haram's camp, but you can't predict what they will become in your camp. Then the child is not the problem, you are. So our job is to help parents understand that it's no longer a cultural, it's no longer an individual warfare. Oh, go to this meeting. Oh, let your child turn right. Anoint the child. If you don't do what you need to do, the child may still not turn right. And that is why it's now a cultural warfare. Old model is parents happen at home, but there are now new parents. You have the social media parent, you have the school parent, you have the peer culture parent, you have the Western ideology parent, in fact, you have the work culture parent. So, for example, when a parents go to school and their child comes out with a report card and the child has straight A's, they are happy. I am asking the question, what if your child has a distinction in pornography and report card did not capture it? What if your child has been groomed to become gay and report card did not capture it because it's in boarding house? Because there's a lot of that going on in our boarding houses. What if your child has developed hatred or depression and report card is not showing it? Because, guys, if you don't intentionally design your child's future, the world will. And only those who can help parents reclaim authority and build family culture gets paid. So by the time you begin to show up with parents and let them know I'm not a motivational speaker, my job is to help you design the outcome you want, right? And you begin to show them the battle line. The fact that you are teaching your child one thing, TikTok is parenting children faster than their parents. Your child is in another world, is in another stream, is listening to Chavis, is listening to Pella, right? So you are teaching the word of God, the child is learning the word of the world, the gospel according to Chavis, right? And so that is the new parent is you need to know the competition. You need to know who you are faced with, and you need to design a counter system that can handle that. And that takes me to the final law here. I mean, I told you 10, but I'll share 4 with you. And Rule 4 says, parenting coaches are the new wealth builders because without parenting system, family wealth is at risk. Where I come from, they said that a child that is not properly raised is going to sell the houses that you have built. So many people develop themselves to create the wealth, but they have not raised the children to hand over the wealth to. So hand over the wealth to the child goes, starts to carry babes. He starts to buy toys. And before you know it, he's broke. I mean, I interviewed a young man who wanted to get married, and I asked him, you know, what future do you suppose there? He was telling me about acres of land. He was telling me about the cars he's going to buy. So I asked him, what business will you be doing to produce this outcome? He had no answer. The next generation will be shaped by those who understand families, not just finances. And you are the only one that can help them design the systems. It's called the family governance system, which is part of the courses we take. So the old model is coaching. I'm passionate about coaching. That's the old model. In new model, coaching is high impact, high income profession because demand is exploding. Therapists are overwhelmed and parents are desperate. Anybody that can solve problems. You had it on the call. My sister that was sharing the testimony. I mean, please, my hug to help me give a warm hug to your husband tonight. Said her husband said to her, I can see your passion, but I think you need to go and train under Praise Forward, right? I mean, I love men like that, right? Because you need to understand how to build system, how to create strategies. See, we started licensing out. We only done it for one set this year. everything I've used on parenting coaching in the last 20 years thereabout. We started licensing it out to parent. People have taken our parenting courses this year, right? And every day, including coaching script, everything well made for you, you know. And then those people are calling me to say, Grace, you gave us what we would never have gotten by us because it's 20 years of work. Say it's just easy to charge right now because I'm no longer confused. I know exactly what to do, right? So you are a new wealth builder. There is no reason why people should not pay you $1 million, 2 million. I mean, $1 million naira, 2 million naira, at least at the basic level. Because the question is, what is the consequence of not paying you? Their child will likely go to jail. They don't want that. They don't want the child to be disgraced. So that's why you need to position yourself. I'm more than a coach. I'm a strategist. Because what we teach will take you to understand coaching strategy, consulting, and systems intelligence. And like we said, the new battle is a battle of system intelligence. So parenting coaching, therefore, is partnering with the parents in a thought-provoking and creative process using cutting-edge methodology that inspires them to maximize their parenting potential. It's a partnership to create a world that is safe for all. And that is what you need to normalize. The question is, do you have a professional framework or you are still using native intelligence or obsolete model? For many of you, I think your model is obsolete and you need to upgrade those models right now. But let me show you the problem in Africa and where you come in, and then within 5 to 10 minutes, I'll be done. Africa has 1.46 billion people. This is about 19% of the world's population. Africa is the youngest and fastest growing continent globally. The median age in Africa is 19. By 2050, Africa is projected to reach 2.5 billion people. By 2100, Africa will be 4 billion people. There was a time the total population in the world was about 3.5 billion. Now, Black population globally is 1.6 billion people, right? So Africa alone has 1.4 billion. Caribbean, 45 million. United States, 48 million. Latin America, 20 million. Canada, about 10 million. Africa alone accounts for 90% of global Black population. Now, here is the problem. According to the World Health Organization and Global Mental Health Workforce data, Africa has an average one mental health worker to 100,000 people. And that includes psychiatrists, psychologists, future nurses, social workers, and others, including you. So for every 100,000 troubled family, there's only one skilled person that can attend to them. That means for 100,000 people, there's only one trained mental health professional. So it means the market you are dealing with right now is a market that minimum, one of you have about 100,000, right? And so, which means Africa actually need about 14,600 mental health workers in total. Now, let's even say we want to solve the problem, right? Let's say that each of you can do 300 families per year, which is an overkill, except you want to kill yourself, which includes direct coaching, because you can do direct coaching, you can do group coaching, you can do church or community system, you can do institutional partnerships, right? Like I'm taking some families to Mexico in July for 5 days, and I'm going to be schooling them on how to create a transgenerational plan, right? So if you're around North America, you can reach out to me. Maybe you won't come, right? So it means that one of you, ideally, should be able to work with 250 families a year, which is a lot, right? So let's assume we achieve that, right? And so there are 290 million families in Africa today, right? And so if we have 250, divided by 250 family life professionals, thereabout. So Africa needs 1.2 million competent family life professionals, right? But then let's say we want to do it in 25 years. It means every year we'll need 48,000 professionals per year. If we want to say, okay, let's do it faster in 20 years, we'll need 60,000 professionals per year. But guess what? Africa has very few universities offering family science, parenting coaching. In fact, I don't know if there's any African university that offers parenting coaching as a course. So what that means is Africa is depending on us to solve this problem, to raise competent professionals. And that's why we keep saying every time to say that we need more people in this sector. We need more people who can professionally help people and who can earn a living. Let me tell you, I do know that business is all I do. I'm a family life strategist, right? And so if we have to stabilize the future, imagine how many children are being born as we talk. Imagine if you can gift them, helping them frame how to raise that child, and they pay you for it, right? So it means that almost all the delivery centers, they know you and they are willing to help because you just need to make a case for it. You can talk to your government, you can write a proposal and create a national parenting network. For those of you in Malawi, if I live in Malawi, South Africa, Zambia, those are the things I'll be doing. Nigeria is a bit complex, right? But I can do it in a state in Nigeria. I've even done, I designed some national parenting curriculum for Nigeria, sponsored by Vatican many years ago, right? I designed the entire framework, right? And so you need to understand, if your country is a country of like 2 million people, 3 million people, you should be aspiring to write a proposal to your president to create a national parenting forum to mentor the younger generation and to mentor parenting. There is a way to do that. I can sit with you and show you how. So you have no excuse. And that's why at this juncture, I'm going to invite you, because there's a limit to what I can teach you. But what we've done at the Institute of Family Engineering Development is we have a course called the Parenting Coaching Certification Program, which is 12 weeks, right? In 12 weeks, you will learn the fundamentals of modern parenting, how to run effective assessment to accurately diagnose cases, creating a fail-proof intervention that helps parents succeed, how to run therapy, strategies, systems intelligence, and what have you, right? In that course, you will learn coaching framework for parenting, parental origin and instinct, foundation for inner child healing. And this is the one that everybody screams about, because it will take you back to your childhood and show you how to heal. And then show other people out. See, to facilitate this session for a client, one client or a family, is nothing less than $1,000, because you are taking them through healing, right? If you charge very well, they will pay you for this, because many people are trauma walking up and down. Effective communication and emotional management, personality identification and behavioral. All of this you are going to learn. By the time you emerge from that class, right, you will change from talking to clients to someone who can comprehensively run an assessment, review the session, and create a parenting compass, framework for them. The good thing is that maybe before you graduate, the portal will have been ready. So instead of handwriting the report yourself, you send them to the portal, they pay you for it, and then in 1 minute, their result is out, and then you can create the intervention. You will learn how to create intervention management. Our goal ultimately is across Africa, we want to produce the most competent parenting coaches humanity deserves, and we want to assist them become highly profitable across the globe. Now, this class starts May 6th, right? So in less than a month, this class is going, and the good thing is that the first class, I'm the one facilitating it. But in this class, 60% compulsory attendance. You need to submit your compulsory home place. You need to graduate as an associate coach. You need to go and do your field work, and you need to become a certified coach. But trust me, by the time you're done, you will be able to function in any nation of the world. You'll be able to stand your ground. I work across every culture, whether Indian, Latinos, every culture, Asians. I've worked with all of them, and they all attest to the potency of the model that we use. Now, the parenting coach is the bridge between parents and the tools they need to guide their children through the challenges of family life with confidence and connection. That is who you are. It's going to be one of the most sought after skills in the future. So let me ask you, if we have to work with you for 12 weeks and mentor you afterwards, right? And show you everything you need to know to become one of the most highly skilled parenting professional, right? How much will you be willing to pay for it? Let me check the box, right? How much will you be willing to pay for it? How much? How much? How much? How much? Right? $200. That's not bad, right? That's not bad. I live in America. You won't find a certification that is $200, but that's fine. I mean, $100. Let me see. $500. I like that. That's those people are speaking. Somebody say whatever the cost. I love you. Okay, so let me not waste your time. Basically, what we've done in this class is very simple. Now, ideally, this class is worth $1,000 or 1.5 million naira. And I kid you not, go check parenting certifications, and the ones they do in America is about $2,500. But I beat my chest that is inferior to what we're going to give you, right? But what we have done, right, is we have made it very affordable, right? The cost for this set, and this is the last set that will enjoy this fee, right, is 350,000 naira or $241, right? But if you make a one-time payment, let's say you are paying in the next 72 hours, which is the next 3 days, you will pay 300,000, right? Which is about $206, right? So it means that we've taken out 50,000 naira for you. Trust me, I mean, if you know of our other course, you go check, you will see Family STEM Engineering Certification Program is $500 flat, right? But this is parenting coaching, and we want as many people as possible. Our goal, at least this year, is to ensure that we train at least 100 across various African countries, right? So again, Bridget, that's not the right mentality. The first mentality is, how can I afford it, right? That is it. Because if I'm going to deliver into your end what will help you earn for the rest of your life, then you should ask yourself, how much is it worth for you? Now, so this is the fee. If you're doing a one-time payment, it's 300,000 naira, which is $206. If you are not doing that, you might as well pay the 350, which is 241. However, we have two other options. You can pay 150,000 if you want to do the installmental payment. There are two different installments. There is one where you pay 150,000 and then you spread your balance, but that balance is slightly higher than the 350 across 3 months. Or we have the student loan, right? We have an institution, a relationship with a bank, right? They give students loan and then they allow you spread your payment maybe over 6 months or something like that, right? But if you click on the link, you will see the various options in there. Let me tell you, when I was taking my badges, I did a course called Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Each badge was over $1 million naira, and I was in Nigeria. I was almost going to die. But you see, I tell people I would rather invest in myself, do everything to invest in myself than be an ignoramus, right? You will make the money. I mean, we've seen people who from class, they've made their money back, right? And truth is, $241 is less than what you should earn from, it's less than what you should earn from your first job. First job from class, you should make this money with your first client ever. If you know what you are doing with your first client, you should make this money, right? You should. Guaranteed if you know what you're doing. So you can click on the link and get into class from May 6th, thereabout. We start the class once every week. You come to class and then you learn. You go and do your own plays and you come back to class till the 12th week. 12 weeks are over. The last classes we teach you how to build a business around this. And then you'll be in a network. We'll mentor you, show you models and frameworks that can help you. Right. Okay. So you can click on the links. So let me ask you, who is joining my class in May? This is where we separate. Okay, Wumi, I love that. This is where we separate the boys from the men. Okay, don't worry. You get a book. Okay. So I'm seeing the people who are in. Where are the people who are in? I'm in. Good, Pastor J. Welcome to class. Techno, welcome to class. My dear. Hey, whatever you have, start with that, right? And negotiate payment plan for the rest. I'm in. Okay. So I'm loving this. We should have a full class. Trust me, you will never get anything better than this, right? We're doing Family STEM Engineering Certification, which is $500. That class is packed. Over about 60 or 70 students in that class, right? But you see, one thing I can guarantee you of is that by the time you are leaving this class, the money you have paid for this class, you should be able to make that money back in your first job, your first deal with your client, right? You should. And let that drive you, right? And one thing I tell people is that I've gone for certifications before, and when we're done, my coach told us, you have no access to me except you pay again. We're not like that. We'll put you in a community, they provide support for you, and everything you need, you'll get, right? And then if you also now want to be licensed to use all my model, we can have that conversation. But guys, you need to join this class if you are really, really interested in transforming life. So onto my gift, onto my gift. They're going to give you a link. There's a book I wrote. It's called Strictly for Parents, right? It's a book that is not, we sell it actually. It's a bit expensive. If you go on, you would say it, right? But I've asked them to give it to you for attending this session. So admin, you can help me drop the link for people to download the book, right? So admin, Kayode, please, can you drop the link for the book download? But please, guys, click on the link right now and register, and go register for this class. Let me tell you. See, I always tell all my people that there is no other way. There is a price to anything that is good. There's a cost to anything that is enduring, that will stand the test of time. So if you understand that, then you will do everything to make sure you attend the class. You will do everything in your power to attend. So do everything to get into this class. One thing we'll guarantee you of is that we'll show you how to make your money back, maybe before you even end the class, thereabout, right? But we need as many people from various countries across Africa. Talk to your uncle, talk to your auntie. If you need sponsorship, let them sponsor you. If you need student loan, there is a space for student loan in there, but we need you in class. Find a way. Don't make any excuses. And you see, I'm not talking you happy so that you can attend. We have gone past that. This is the last time this course is going to be 350,000 naira. This is the last time, because the value far outweighs everything compared to the courses in that same category. So I want to say thank you very much for having me. I want to say thank you for having me. I hope you have learned something. If you have any question, I will answer your question. But I will, Coach Josola is going to come back now. Admin, please, the download for the book, please put it there so that everyone that attended the course can have access to the book. But please do everything to get into class. I can't wait to see you next month. And maybe some of you in Africa, I'll be in Africa next month. I'll be able to hug you and then give you some high five sometimes later. So have a fantastic day. Desola, over to you.
And we appreciate Pierre, please. Can we just thank him for, something about PF is the passion with which he shows up every single time. His shoes are big. he sets the bar very high. Can we just say thank you for giving himself to this work, to us this evening, for sharing with us this evening, and for igniting it. I'm seeing a few comments in the chat. Somebody said they are changed forever. Their parenting is changed forever. And then for those of us who will take advantage of this opportunity and find every way possible to attend the class in May, you will be doing the world a huge service. You will be doing yourself a huge service. So think of ways that you can make it possible. Like Pierre said, the question is, how can I make it happen? You understand the value, you recognize what the need is. So do whatever it is. You have 72 hours for the first amount, and then you have I think maybe another week or two, because those spaces fill up very quickly. So think about how you can make it happen. Think about it. How can you make it happen? Who can you talk to? Go on that link. What payment plan can you take advantage of? There are a few options available. Obviously, for the person who is able to pay the lump sum in 72 hours, absolutely do it if you can. If you need a payment plan, there are opportunities available to you. So this is not it's not one way, all right? There are multiple choices available to you. The question you should be asking yourself is, how can I get this done? How can I be in that May cohort? Okay. All right. Good. Oh, okay. So think about it. Find out a way to be part of this train because the world needs it, because you need it. Like PF said, 1 to 1,000. That's a huge statistic. That is a scary statistic. All right. So the world needs you. Someone is asking how the lessons be conducted. It'll be every Wednesday. It'll be every Wednesday. And the classes are recorded as well. So for somebody who might be thinking, oh, maybe the timing might not work for me, the classes are recorded every Wednesday. Obviously, we would like for you to be present in class. Like PF said, you need to attend at least 6 sessions, but you have a little wiggle room because there are 12 sessions in all. So you need to understand that you will need to attend at least 6. Okay. So the classes are virtual every Wednesday 7 p.m. West African time. You can look at your own um, local time in that regard. All right. Like PF said, it's not you take the classes and then you're done. You have a community. You have a community. Coach Ayolua shared with us earlier. Having that fallback, having that community is everything. Okay. You encounter a case, you then need to talk to somebody. You're approaching support with a certain family or with a certain child, and you're like, what do I need to do? And you're struggling, you're trying to figure out a game plan. You can fall back on the community and say, this is the situation. What would you recommend? What would you do if you were in my shoes? Okay. Brilliant. Thank you so much. The answer to your question, Bashiru, is in the parenting coaching course. Okay, that is the answer to your question. All right, it is a complex situation. And like PF said, it's not just looking at the behavior, there is an underlying explanation for it. So we ask a lot of whys. We approach everything that we do as parenting coaches with curiosity, as parents ourselves, those of us that are parents. Somebody asked earlier, I saw that question in the chat. Can you be a parenting coach if you're single? Absolutely. Absolutely. Can you be an OBGYN if you're a man? The answer is yes. So it's not a gender, it's not a marital question. It's an expertise question. Do you have what it takes? You take this course, the answer is yes. And then you go and you begin to be an answer to somebody's prayer. You begin to be a solution to the problems that are plagued by our world. All right. Brilliant. The recording is on YouTube. If you search for Press Forward on YouTube, you can experience this again and again and again. And please remember, PF said it earlier, so I'm just going to reiterate. Please share this with people in your circles, people that you think need to be in those classes themselves. So be a conduit, all right? Be a conduit of blessing, of opportunity to other people. So talk to somebody, forward the link, look for the recording on YouTube, share the YouTube link with somebody and let them know they need to be a part of this. The more people we have who have this expertise, who can solve problems at the levels that PF was referring to, faster the faster we can change our world. So for Bashiru, who was asking earlier about conflict and this and that, if we don't intervene, those cycles are going to continue. All right. So you are the intervention the world has been waiting for. If we leave things to stay as is, we're going to hopefully not. Hopefully not. The future will not be like, what were our foreparents doing? Our forefathers and our foremothers, what did they do? Why is the world so amiss? Right? We have an opportunity now. All right. Sign up, be in that class in May, be part of that cohort, and then you can begin to solve problems. You can begin to solve problems and create solutions and interventions. All right, are there any questions before we call it a night where I'm at? Please ensure you save the number, the contact number What presentation are you referring to? The one PF did, you're going to have to watch it on YouTube. We're not sharing the presentation. You would need to watch it on YouTube. Nancy, my answer to, well, you've not asked a question, but what I will say is it's a question of value. And what we can promise you is that the course delivers a higher use value, higher than anything you could have paid for it. Okay? Please take my word for it. It's not the fees are nothing next to the value that you receive. They are nothing. I can promise you that. They're nothing next to the value that you receive from taking this course. Okay? And this is a skill that you're going to have permanently. The support is there for you permanently. All right? So, oh, please click on the link. Please click on the link. Admin, can you post the link as well? Brilliant. Brilliant. Digital wellness. I mean, it's a unique problem, isn't it? It's this generation's issue. Our generation has been described, well, my generation, I'm not sure of the ages of people in this room. My generation has been described as the last one with one leg in the digital world and one leg in analog, right? So this generation only knows digital, and it is therefore plagued by certain problems that are unique to it. But solutions exist. Okay, solutions exist. Yes, yes, there is an instrumental plan and a link has been put in the chat. So please click on it. Use the enquiries number as well. I'm sure you'll be able to chat on WhatsApp on that number so you can ask questions. All right. NLP content relating to parenting. NLP is a vast field of study and it applies to life in general. It applies to performance using language in general. So I'm not sure what that question relates to. The fee, you might, okay, right, it's in the offer. If you scroll down, you see the fee. Okay. All right, you get the book via email. All right, now you have the link to download the gift in the chat. So please have a look. The link to download the book is in the chat. It's a Google Drive. I'm going to be wrapping up in the next few minutes. Are there any other questions? Networking opportunities or referrals to where one can apply the knowledge. Were you in the session? And so your question makes me wonder if you sat through the session. There were so many. Oh, I see. All right, you know what we'll do? You'll go to YouTube, you will search for Praise Forward, and you will watch the session. And then you will have answers to the question you've asked. Okay? All right. We're very pleased that you've joined. We've just wrapped up, but you can experience it because it is on YouTube. All right. You're very welcome. The content of the training was shown though, Nancy. PF actually read out the modules. I think your answer is on YouTube. Yeah? Your answer is on YouTube so that you can see the modules that you'll be learning. All right, Nancy? What link is that? The link to the book? Okay. Oh, I see. I'm not sure. Do you want to click on the link? There's a Google Drive that was posted. Please, can we post the Google Drive again? If you just click on it, you'll be able to download the book straight away. You're very welcome. Oh, Nancy is asking for a flyer. I'm sure there's a flyer for it. All right. Can we post the flyer for Nancy to see? We have 3 more minutes before we call it a night. Oh, lovely. Thank you for the feedback. We look forward to welcoming you as you join the May cohort. Brilliant. 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 Yes, you can read it. Oh, definitely. Definitely. Yes, you can read books. You need to watch it on YouTube. Let me find the YouTube link. I keep saying go on YouTube. All right, bear with me a moment. I'm just going to. If you find it before me, feel free to post it. Put the link to the meeting. Admin, if you can help us with a link to this recording, please. All right, the link to the book is available. You're very kind. Thank you. Please search for PF on YouTube. I mean, you probably will spend quite a bit of time there because it's a loaded YouTube page. There are so many resources there. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. We look forward to welcoming you all right, to the session in May, to the course in May. It's for 12 weeks. Like we said, it starts in May. There is a flyer for it, Nancy. Okay. And we'll get that across to you. I'm sure everybody would have gotten an email. So we'll just ask for details of the program to be. Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Thank you, Wuraola. All right, that's the link to the recording. So please, for those of us who are just joining, take the next hour or so. And please, Bridget, I will still click on that link. All right. If I were you, I will still click on that link, see what options are available, and then go to sleep on it and see how you can actually attend the course. All right. I will not end it there and say it's not possible. All right. I will not say it's not something I can do. I would click on that link, the one admin has posted, the offer. All right. Click on it, see the options that are there, and then begin to think of how you can make it happen. Okay. I won't just shut the door. You seem like you're shutting a door. All right. That's not good. Okay. There's nothing that is impossible. Okay. So I would click on it, look at the options that are available, read through. All right. And then, okay, there it is. May 6th. That's the flyer, Nancy. That's the flyer. You might want to save it. Okay. That's the flyer. It's starting on the 6th of May, but you will still need to watch the recording because you wanted to see the modules that you'll be learning. Okay. Thank you so much. Bridget, take that step. Take that step forward. Okay. There's a reason why you're here. Nothing happens by accident. You have attended this webinar for a reason. All right. So don't shut the door. Okay. Take that step. Have a look at the options that are available. Maybe share it with a few people around you. There's this course you saw that you like to attend. You don't know. Okay. I like to draw on inspiration. So I go within. So I keep quiet and meditate. And, if that works for you, maybe you want to start with that. If what works for you is if you have people, a support system around you, tell them this is something you want to engage in. This is a course that you think will be really valuable for you. Share with them what you have learned today. Okay, so I will not shut the door if I were you. The numbers for the admins are on the screen, so please save those numbers and make your inquiries. It has been lovely spending the last, 2 hours with you. Wonderful, wonderful opportunity you have. And again, I encourage you to take full advantage of it. God bless you. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.
I saw the advert for this coaching program on Facebook, I think, and I was like, okay, I should do this. And I registered. And to be fair, I didn't know what I was going to expect. So before now, I have been a teens mentor in church. And I always used to say, please, I'm not a coach. I don't have any business with parents. They are very stubborn. They don't listen. They don't want to do it. So let me just be teaching children. They will listen to me. But someone asked me, so how do you want to get to the children if you don't go through the parents? And it hits me, so I registered for this course. The first day, the first lecture, it was PF that was teaching, and he said in his house, he tells his children know that they've not finished eating until they've washed their dishes. And immediately I dropped off from that call. I implemented it in my house. So you've not finished eating until you've washed your dishes. You've not finished your assignment until you've packed up your books. So and for every lecture we have, for every session we have, I found myself implementing it immediately in my home, and it's been amazing.
So far, I'm happy with what I can see the huge difference that it has brought into my own parenting, I must say. So as much as I have been in this journey of self-development when it comes to parenting, but having been on this course has really raised my awareness to a higher level, and I really appreciate it. So far, I'm reviewing the family communications module. And yeah, I realized that when we went through it, there were certain things that I was quite not sure of. And I found it to be quite interesting to learn about, to go deeper into the filters. So yeah.
Like there is this mother who came and he was like, my child will always suck his finger and she doesn't live in the country. So when she came over after 3 months, she found herself just beating the child throughout. Like the nanny will complain, this child is not doing this child is not doing this, the child is not using potty anymore. So many complaints from the nanny, and the lady will just find herself punishing the child over and over and over again. And I was amazed how I was able to speak to this lady. And she took papers, She took a paper and she started taking notes. And I was laughing at myself like, hey, yeah, Marie, there you go. You're speaking like a coach. And my director was right there closer to me and was like, oh, really? You go to so my go
So my